Alright, what's up everyone? It's been a while since I recorded one of these. As you guys know, the patch for Dragon Ball FighterZ just dropped recently. It's been a few days. And I figured that I would make a video going over all of the changes for Android 21, especially because I haven't done a primer for a while. I've been doing the primer series. We're gonna get back into doing those regularly. But I figured we're gonna at least start going over some of the changes, as well as like how they actually affect you in matches, because you know, you can look at the patch notes and you may not really understand the implications of some of the changes. So we're gonna go over those here, and yeah, that's what's on the agenda for today. So let's just get right into it. So the first thing that has changed, 5S is now a level 2 projectile, level 2 ki blast. What that means is that it goes through standard ki blast. So I have Goku set to reversal 5S, and as you can see, my 5S goes through his and hits him. This is very, very important. This is very, very important. This means that she beats characters without rapid ki blast even harder than she did before, because not only do you have 2S to go over top of, you know, regular projectiles, you also can just beat them out with 5S. Which is super good. And just to give you guys an idea, right, it's the same exact durability as Goku Black's new 5S. They do full clash, as well as Z Broly. You guys have probably been shot by Z Broly before, like, why does this go through ki blast? There's full clashes with his now, so as you can see. So very, very big change. I really don't understand why they gave this to her, to tell you the truth. Like, it's so unnecessary, but a nice buff. We take those, as they say. Okay, next change, total detonation ball. So for those of you who don't know what total detonation ball is, it's our fireball. So they changed a few things about the different versions of the move. So L ball is exactly the same, so nothing to report there. M ball, they've decided to give characters with upward angle beam style moves the ability to whiff cancel into super dash. So that means you could go to try to call out someone with M ball and still cancel into super dash regardless of whether it hits or not. And this of course becomes very strong with assists. So approaches like this, right, are very strong because it just covers so much of the screen, especially if you play like beam. You can literally like call beam, do up ball, and just super dash, and there's nothing that they can do to answer the super dash, because they'll either take the assist, take the M ball, or at the very least they'll block it, right, and not be able to answer the super dash, or even like mid reflect they're not able to answer. So this is like very like just kind of cheat neutral way to do things. Like, I don't, once again, like, this is another change that I don't really know, like, I don't really know who asked for this, but that is now possible. However, I will say that one thing did get changed, another thing did get changed about M ball, and that is that it does not make contact with crouchers at all anymore. So what you used to be able to do was do a string into M ball, and it would actually push you back in a way that made it impossible for any other character in the game to challenge and take their turn back after, because it was only a very slightly minus move. But as you can see now, even point blank on big characters like Z Broly, it does not make contact anymore. So you cannot do this in strings up close anymore. I do not recommend it. However, I will say that they did make it so the regular version, the M version on standing is now +2. As you can see, it's plus on block, to compensate for the fact that it doesn't hit crouches anymore. So M ball got a lot of changes. I was really surprised that this is a move that they decided to change so much, but yeah, pretty interesting change. Okay, next is EX ball, and EX ball got some pretty nonsense changes, to tell you the truth. So for this, we're gonna need to set to guard first only. So the main thing that has changed is that they have kind of given this whiff cancel super dash property to EX ball, but not to the same extent as M, right? So as you can see, M I take off immediately. So L ball, right, I can do L ball. You see I'm mashing super dash and I don't get it, right? As you can see here, this is recovery. Okay, now EX ball has much less recovery, so you can see that I get super dash earlier. This has huge implications. So we're gonna show you some examples here. So it turns out that since the change, 2 steal EX ball point blank actually jails into super dash if done immediately. So, right, my opponent set on guard first only. We can even put him to reversal reflect, just to make sure you guys are aware of what's going on here. Right, this is a jail. True block string. They cannot stop the super dash from going off. What does this mean? That especially means that in the corner, super dash mix is guaranteed out of EX ball, right? Right, guaranteed. Nothing they can do. They have to answer the EX ball or they get 50-50 for free. So, insane change. Absolutely crazy. Like, I cannot believe they put this in the game. So yeah, you need at least 2 steals. Of course, it works with 3 and 4 as well, but 2 steals is all you need to guarantee the super dash. And as you can see, it also works mid-screen. So it is not like one of those like edge case corner only scenarios. So even though you cannot like true 50-50 mid-screen, because of course 2L is not gonna land here. Like obviously you're too far away to get 2L to land. You can like play some mind games with your opponent, like you can do stuff like this, right? You can jail into an overhead. For characters that they block it crouching, I don't know if it actually works on Broly because he is kind of large. Whoops. Yeah, so as you can see, I can get to the other side here. So you can still mix your opponent. It's just not a true 50-50. And of course, like you can land in and like go low if you want to as well, but there's a lot of different things you can do with it. But yeah, the jailing into super dash thing is absolutely insane. Definitely recommend abusing this as much as possible in your games. EX ball became even stronger move after the patch somehow. And the last thing I want to say about it is that they have since removed starter based meter penalty. And what I mean by that is, it used to be if you started a combo with an EX move, you would not gain meter for the rest of the combo no matter what you did. So now it is not like that. It is completely time based, meaning that as long as you do a combo long enough that gets past the EX meter penalty, you will start gaining meter again. So that means that combos like this are much more valuable because, as you can see, I have started gaining meter again. I have to sacrifice. Before I used to have to choose, do I want to spend EX ball to nuke their character and sacrifice my meter gain? But now you don't really have to do that. You can choose to do both. You can nuke the character and still gain meter in the combo afterwards. That's a huge indirect buff to 21, is being able to utilize EX more in their combos. And I actually did an entire video on utilizations for EX ball and combos, block strings, you know, extensions, all that stuff. I'll be linking that down in the description below. Definitely recommend checking that out. It's like an hour video where I go over everything involving this move, because I truly believe that this move is one of the best in the game. It's actually just absurd. So definitely work that into your gameplay even more from before. Okay, the next, they have buffed EX dive to just do more damage. So this one's pretty simple. You just do more damage on EX dive combos now. A little bit more damage than before. Nothing too crazy. Yeah, so pretty straightforward. So definitely, you know, this is something that we end up using like quite a lot. So it is nice. Once again, like not the most needed thing in the world, but we do take those. After that, they have given the air version of anti-air command grab. They've actually given it head invulnerability partway through the move. I believe it's frame 4. I'm pretty sure it's frame 4, just like the grounded version. So for those of you who don't know, the ground version is frame 4 air invulnerable. However, it's like doesn't have a ton of use because of the way that kind of anti-air command grabs work in this game. Right, so frame 4 air invulnerable. So they've added this to the air version, meaning that you can OS right? So this OS that you only used to be able to do whenever you had to steal, like Solar Flare or stay in command grab or barrier, you can actually do this all the time. This is really big. So this 2S, 2N4S option select is something that you can always do because it actually has invulnerability on it, meaning that they cannot just try to cheat neutral and super dash at you. Huge change. If you don't know how to OS, all you need to do is when you're in like full screen situations like this, you just 2S and you input 214S regardless, right? So as you can see, I'm inputting it. But if your opponent activates the super dash, the 2S makes contact sooner, which makes your cancel come out. And that's the way that it works. So you want to definitely practice implementing that. Don't try to do it every single time, of course, because it is frame 4 invulnerable. Sometimes you can still be hit, and 2S is still a really good move. You can still block in an overwhelming majority of these scenarios, but this is a very strong OS that is more applicable in a wide variety of situations now, as long as you don't miss your quarter circles. You miss your quarter circles, you're going to be cooked either way. But pretty big change for command grab. I'm really happy that they did that because I think it actually should have been like that from the jump. So yeah, we're pretty grateful for that. They made the hitbox, I don't really need to show this, but they made the hitboxes bigger on some of her 2-6S steals. So Kamehameha, consecutive ki blast, explosive energy blast, and homing. All of the forward steals, they made the hitboxes a little bit bigger, so that they hit like, so if you TK them, and you know, sometimes there was like a little bit of a dead zone underneath where characters get kind of crouch under, especially smaller characters. They've increased the hitbox, they made the hitbox bigger downwards, so it's easier to hit those characters. Okay, next they have buffed air level 3. So it used to do actually I didn't actually, what's the best way to show this? I should do a vanish combo, actually. Do a vanish combo. Okay, so it used to do 1721 damage. Don't ask me why I did that. I was cursed. They have since buffed it by 100 damage. So it actually does 1821. So we actually have a pretty high damage super. So it was like good damage before. Now it's like legit high damage. 1800 plus is really big. So further establishing the trade-off of like, if you want to do air level 3 to get that extra bit of damage, it's actually 300 damage more than ground level 3 now, so it's a pretty significant difference. Of course, you don't get the steals, but you do still get the same Oki, so it just makes the air level 3 more useful. And of course, if those of you who hadn't seen from last patch, they did make air level 3 track. This was in season I don't remember if it was season 3 or if it was the patch after season 3, but they made it so she teleports to the opponent whenever she level 3s. So that means you can hit confirm. You can hit confirm more stuff in neutral, right? Because she teleports to them. It also makes it so the combo that they took away at the beginning of level, yeah, it was definitely 3.5 because I remember at the beginning of season 3 you weren't able to do command grab into air level 3 anymore, but now you can because they added the tracking property to level 3. So pretty good stuff. And then the last stuff is about her assists. So we'll talk a little bit about the assists. So first, A assist, which by the way, I still wholeheartedly believe that this is the assist that you should be running if you play the character. It was already one of the best assists in the game, and they've actually made it even better. So they've increased the block stun by 5 frames, meaning that it is now plus 30 on block instead of plus 25. Still has the same hit stun, so it's super easy to confirm. Still comes out really fast. Just pretty insane change, honestly. I cannot believe they buffed this assist. I am just baffled. Yeah, I don't really know what to say. A assist is just better. 30 frames of block stun, meaning that it's more applicable for a lot more characters, and block strings and whatnot. Still has the same visual obscurity as it had before. So yeah, still a super great assist. Now they did buff the other assists as well. I believe they said that so looking at the patch notes, it says sped up the B assist startup, so it's now 20 frames. It's also plus 30 on block, and they added some invulnerability. They added some invulnerability whenever she comes in. So when she disappears, so as you can see, like she comes in, she kind of disappears, and then she does the dive, right? So she's not there right now. So she's invulnerable during that. She used to be able to get hit out of that. Now she cannot. So that's pretty good. And they also that kind of changed the way that characters get knocked back whenever they get hit by the move. So I think that makes it a little bit easier to combo. Yeah, so you, like, they kind of pop up right in front of you, right? Pretty easy to hit, confirm, miss as well. That being said, I would say just keep running A. They did make B assist better significantly, but I still think A is the better assist. And we will talk a little bit about C. They did make C faster, of course. So it's funny because her C assist was one of the few C assists that people thought was like kind of worth it in season 3, like originally like whenever season 3 originally dropped. That has since kind of changed. Like there's not really many 21s running C, minus like Matoy, because he's crazy. He's running Bardock C as well, so it just be like that. But that being said, even though they made it faster and whatnot, they also made a system change where they nerfed the cooldown on all C assists. So it actually takes even longer for them to come back. And as you can see, it's now plus 55 on block instead of plus 50. So yeah, so overall, like, C assists got nerfed across the board cooldown wise, and as a result, they have nerfed they have buffed the utility of the C assists themselves. Like they've given them more hit stun or block stun, or stuff like that. So yeah, a little bit better in that regard. But I would say, like I said, just keep running A. And yeah, that's actually all the changes for 21. Overall, I think that she is definitely a better character. Definitely a better character in the new patch than she was before. She was already a pretty insane character to begin with. You know, some people on Twitter are saying like, oh, she's worse because of other character changes. I don't really think that's the case. I think it's definitely too early to say, honestly. Like, it's gonna take us time to really like play matchups and really get a feel for how strong characters are and how gonna settle in the meta. But I will say that she is definitely still an super top tier character, man. Like, incredibly strong, still does all the same stuff that she was doing in season 3. They gave her more support value, made her assist better. They gave her stuff to just kind of cheat neutral. She was already one of the best neutral characters in the game. They made it even better. They gave her mixed utility with, you know, EX ball jailing to super dash on blocks. So there's just a lot of cool stuff that you can do now. And you know, like I said, when people are woke and they watch my video about EX ball and they start implementing that stuff, you're gonna be like, wow, this character is really messed up. So mark my words, you guys can bookmark this video. when that's going on and it turns out 21 is top tier again and everyone's like, wow, this character is really stupid, I'm gonna be sitting here right here with this grin on my face like, told you so. So that is all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, leave a comment. The comment really helps the YouTube algorithm. Like, it really helps promote videos and makes it so like when people search for 21 related videos, I pop up at the top. And hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. We're just past the 700 mark, and I'm gonna start putting out much more stuff, especially on 21. You know, because we got a new patch, so I got to do some demonstrations for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy.